97.7 FM, the City.
Greetings, blessings, and good fortune, everybody. Glad to see that you could be here today. I am sans notes. I ran out of black ink, so I'm going by the iPad here. Going to get into the feed, see if we're up yet. Bada bing, bada boom, there we are. So now, Lord willing, I'll be able to see the comments, and we'll be ready. Doesn't look like anybody's in yet. But we got Mark looking on the other one. Hey, Gabby, we got Mark looking on the other one just to make sure wherever, it might, come out, wherever it might be, that anybody wants to pop on and pop out. You want to pop out and say, hey, Otter, what about this? What about that? Just bring it on. Let's hear about this stuff because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And oh boy, have I got some of that to share with you. Now, let me first start with this. We all know that whether, Jim, good to see you, Jim. I got your piece in here, Jim. Thank you very much for sharing with the rest of us. I'll get to that. Now, before we start, I really want to set all of this on the right foot by giving you a brief Bible verse, okay? This is from Ephesians 5:15. It says, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Yeah, the Bible is true then, it's true now, and it'll be true tomorrow, right? We know our times are evil because, well, we see it all around us, right? We don't have to be a part of that, though. Thank God. So, this will be our first very interesting one here. This will be our first story today. Sue, good to see you. This is from the Bitcoin Layer. Now, this is on Substack. I don't know if they charge or not, but this is something that's very interesting. Check it out if you're interested. The Bitcoin Layer. Okay? JP Morgan and Rothschilds now own Bitcoin ETFs. And this is part of their headline. Yes, you read that correctly. Man, so this is again from the Bitcoin Layer. They say that they don't often use all caps as we are not sensationalists, we are analysts. However, this development is not only years in the making and one that many doubted would even happen, but a seismic shift in the way traditional markets view and invest in Bitcoin as an asset. Now, it goes on to state various other reasons why this was done by these banks. However, let me just put this into perspective. JP Morgan is the number one on the list. Okay, it is the first largest bank. Makes the largest, right? In America. JP Morgan, right? They have now invested $760,000 in Bitcoin ETFs. Now, we know that they hate Bitcoin. Oh, yes, they do. But they're greedy, right? They're central bankers. They're greedy. They're not going to leave out an opportunity like this, like Bitcoin. Not even they will shun Bitcoin anymore because they know what's about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. They know it and they can't control it. Pisses them off, I'm sure. Wells Fargo, number 4 in the U.S., has $143,000 in the Bitcoin ETF. Okay? Bank of America. Okay? No, I'm sorry. PNC Bank is the 8th largest, but I did skip U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank has 15 million. I'm sorry. This article is all jacked up. So it's going into millions now. It went from thousands into millions. This is interesting because if it's right, the smaller banks, which is U.S. Bank, 5th largest in the U.S., investing 14 million in Bitcoin ETFs, and then PNC Bank, which is the 8th largest in the U.S., is investing 10 million in Bitcoin ETFs, okay? So this is interesting for many different reasons, but it is yet another example that everyone is getting on board the Bitcoin train. See, people don't know yet where exactly this thing's going to take off from, right? They don't quite know if it's going to be now, soon, later. They don't know. But they want to be in on it. And that's completely understandable. So, what I want to explain is that they knew this was possible. They did everything they could to block it. They're still doing what they can, right? They're not giving up. But they also want to profit from it. They're hedging their bets, so to speak, that they probably know they can't stop it. So that's good for the rest of us. Now, this one is from Watcher.guru, okay? A longtime watcher listener, Jim O'Rourke, who is watching right now. Hey, Jim. Hey, Sue. Hey, Dad. How you doing? He sent this in. Very interesting. It says, BRICS to launch decentralized financial system to end the U.S. dollar. Ooh. Well, we know that the BRICS is no friend of the U.S. dollar. In fact, the U.S. dollar is no friend of ours. Why? Whoa, what do you mean? Well, the U.S. dollar happens to be also the Federal Reserve note. That same Federal Reserve note that has lost 98% of its value. That same Federal Reserve note that you and I are paid in. So, as we get paid in something that is, purported to be of value, it is losing value. And unfortunately, this loss of value is exponential. Therefore, we're getting paid less and less. And some of us are working more and more. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a crime. Yes, it is. Now, the reason why they're doing this, okay, not just to kill the U.S. dollar, which is, not such a bad idea until it gets back into its format. Its true constitutional format is a dollar that is minted from the U.S. Treasury. Right now, it's not the U.S. Treasury, it's the Federal Reserve, the privately owned Federal Reserve. Those same Rothschilds are wonderful people, wonderful people. I have them over for beers every now and again. So this system is also developed to integrate with both traditional banking infrastructures as well as renovated, I don't know what they mean by this, renovated digital banking forms. Now, I don't know if they mean it's going to go into branches and then digital, or it's going to be digital dollar, fiat currency kind, and then, it won't be fiat because I'll get to that. And then perhaps on a blockchain. Not sure yet. I've read it, scan through it. It doesn't specify. But the fact of the matter is, they say that they're going to back this currency 40% by gold and another 60% by the currencies of the BRICS nations. Now, the currencies of the BRICS nations currently are fiat. So that would mean that this currency, it'd be better than the Federal Reserve note because 40% would be backed by gold, but it'd still be similar to the Federal Reserve note in that it's 60% backed by fiat currency. Now, when they use the term decentralized, that's going to be interesting. I'm really interested in seeing how this works out. So we'll keep our eyes on that. This one from CryptoNews.com. El Salvador announces tokenized investment offerings on Bitcoin sidechain. Let me explain here. Our economy, our economic outlook is going to change. Now, I'm not going to say it's happening tomorrow. I'm not going to say that it's happening in a minute or two. What I will say, however, is that it's going to change. Now, what I see this as is a shareable economy, and here's how that's going to work. So, the nation's National Bitcoin Office, this is El Salvador, right? Launched its blockchain-based capital raised on the Liquid network, okay? Liquid is a Bitcoin sidechain managed by Blockstream and a federation of 65 Bitcoin-centric companies. Okay, now that's, kind of here and over there. But what it's going to do is it's going to tokenize ownership of a hotel. Yeah. So remember, El Salvador is the country that's using its natural resources. In this case, dormant volcanoes are shooting up steam, and they're using that to turn turbines to create electricity to then mine Bitcoin. Yeah. So that is already going on. Now, what they want to do is they want to tokenize, meaning they want to put all of the shares of that hotel in token form on the blockchain. And then you and I, and then check this out. Oscar, good to see you. And then you and I can invest in this hotel. The great thing is there's a $1,000 minimum. So, not everybody, obviously, but whoever's interested and is able to, scare up $1,000, they can invest in this hotel, right? So it goes on, it says tokenized offerings on the Liquid network. Investors would also secure free nights at the hotel they're helping to build. Anyone who invests $1 million gets an all year round free stay. I think that's going to leave me out of it. Anyway, I might, who knows, maybe go into it a little bit. Maybe, you get a free night there, a couple nights, whatever, and you're staying in a place. Check this out. How many of us can stay in a hotel and say, you know what, I own part of this, Not many of us. So you can do that now because it's broken down in a format that is easily digestible by the average investor. See, these things are not possible right now. These things are not possible. Yeah, you could probably invest in a hotel chain. Yeah, you could buy shares. But this is in an actual hotel. It's going to be one hotel, to my knowledge. If you know differently, let me know. But this looks like they're tokenizing that particular hotel, and then you can get in on it, which is cool. So that is most of our crypto stuff. And I don't have a current listing of what Bitcoin's going right now because, the thing where I don't have my notes out. But I would say that earlier today it was at 65. I want to say it was 65,000. So, yeah, it's obviously very healthy, very healthy. So this is from Zero Hedge. World's largest floating solar farm wrecked by a storm just before launch. Wait a minute. Now, we all know that these, people, these eco warriors, are a beat off, right? Well, these people, these geniuses, decided that they were going to float a solar panel farm on the sea. On the sea. I'm not kidding you. So what was happening was they would move with the waves, and it was all nice, I'm sure, up to a point. Because when a storm came, man, that thing got demolished. That thing got devastated. So fact of the matter is, it's no longer in existence. Who'd have thunk it, right? Who would have thunk that would have happened? Yeah, well, I did. I would have told them, if they would have just paid me a small consultant's fee, I could have told them. But they didn't listen because they didn't call me. Their mistake. So the project near the village of Kelwa Kurd, I can't remember, does it say where this is at? I want to say it was like Australia or something. Aimed at generating 100 megawatts of electricity with additional capacities of 88 megawatts at Indawadi and 90 megawatts at Ekhand. However, on Tuesday, summer storms with the speed of 50 miles an hour hit the project and threw the solar panels all around the place, says Zero Hedge. No employee, fortunately, was injured. Wow, that's good. Oh, here's something interesting. This also is from Zero Hedge. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico expected to survive. UK media appears to justify assassination attempt. Let me tell you what little I know about UK media. It's owned by the same people, the usual suspects that own US media. Really no difference other than the fact that one is there and one is here, yet they're all owned by the same people. You're not going to get truth out of them, at least my opinion, right? So this guy, apparently Prime Minister Fico, is said to be improving following reports that he was in surgery due to several gunshot wounds from the Wednesday assassination attempt. Deputy Prime Minister Thomas Taraba has told the BBC he is not in a life-threatening situation at this moment. That's good. Journalist Glenn Greenwald, we've all heard of him, right, has commented, for example, listen to this Sky News report. Sky News is Australian. On the shooting of Robert Fico. Not only did they come close to justifying it because he opposes aid to Ukraine, ding, ding, cash cow alert, but they also casually imply that he's being paid by the Kremlin. Where have we heard this before, ladies and gentlemen? Wasn't Donald Trump like at the top list of the Kremlin payroll at one time in 2016 when they were refusing? They were denying the election results? Yes, he was. As one of the biggest election deniers in the world, Hillary Clinton was casually, throwing out the Russian collusion hoax, right? So this is so prevalent in the West and toxic, says Greenwald. The Sky segment in question, which calls Fico very pro-Russian, and that's not surprising that the attack took place, is below, and they have it. They have it below, right? So let me go off on a little side note here. The usual suspects are almost never without a scapegoat. So in this case, they have Russia. Now, they've used Russia for many different things, and it's one of their favorites. Now, when they go into full mode, Trump dystopian syndrome, because they're an organization, so they're dystopian in their nature because they want you and me to eat bugs and they want all that stuff. Net zero. What does that mean? It means you have zero, I have zero. That's what net zero means in the Green New scheme of things. That you have nothing, I have nothing, and that's it. So they'll use interchangeably Russia. They'll use a pandemic, like a virus, the one that they leak out of a biolab. And then they'll also use, of course, their favorite, war. They love war. Why? Because, they don't fight in them. You, me, or if we're not of age, our kids will fight in a war that they invent. Why? Because they can. And it's profitable. They sell the bullets and the Band-Aids. Now, they just happen to be very unoriginal. So this Russia trope is, it's not going away anytime soon. So whenever you hear, the Russians did it, you know where it's coming from, and you know where to look. So this is also on Zero Hedge. Money's grim future. Prepare for total control of your economic life. That is the message from Brownstone fellow Aaron Day in his 4-hour workshop in San Jose, California last Saturday. So Day has written an excellent book called The Final Countdown, which carefully describes the increasingly aggressive assaults on our freedoms by our government and by the global elites. Remember, I don't call them elites. I don't want to, give them any airs they have not deserved. They are, in fact, the parasite class. Yes, much more apropos than elite, isn't it? He has just begun a series of workshops around the country to deliver that message and to show us a way to resist. The book was published last year. Again, this book by Aaron Day is The Final Countdown. So there's probably a lot of books out there like with that title. So Aaron Day wrote this one. This is from the Gateway Pundit. Rigged election? Wow. Oh, Facebook? Hey, don't shut us down. We said rigged election, but it's not the national election that voted Potato Brain in. Don't worry. You don't have to censor the show. It's not that one. We're not talking about that. This one happens to be in Harris County. We all know Harris County. We here in Texas call it hell. So Harris County judge orders new election for 180th District Court seat after controversial 449 vote loss. Nearly 1,500 votes cast illegally, says the Gateway Pundit. Remember, this is Gateway Pundit, Facebook. Don't blame me for this. It's the Gateway Pundit. And they're not talking about that rigged election. They're talking about the Harris County rigged election, it says right here. In a landmark decision, Bexar County visiting judge has ordered a new election for the 180th District Court in Harris County, Texas. This ruling comes after Republican candidate Tammy Pierce narrowly lost to Democrat Deshaun Jones by a mere 449 votes in the November 2022 election. So that was a while back, a couple years. Deshaun Jones, who was sworn in as a Harris County Criminal District Court judge 15 months ago and has since presided over hundreds of cases. Wow. Hundreds of cases. So if this guy's a false judge, if this guy got in there on trickery, on deceit, if that's the case, well, wow. Hundreds of cases, it says. Okay. Moving on. Voluminous, detailed evidence compiled by witnesses Steve Carlin and dozens of other volunteers revealed many problems with the Harris County's troubled November 2022 election, said Pierce's attorney, Paul Simpson. So, you can't just say that, because, they're in a red state that, there is no voter fraud. That's completely false. In fact, if you want to talk about voter fraud, and this is voter fraud that Facebook will not censor me on. I'm going to talk about voter fraud in Florida. What are you talking about, Otter? The voter fraud that put George Bush Jr. into office. Do you remember a thing called the hanging chads? Yeah. It wasn't a frat party or just the chads that just hung out. No. This was a scam by which the evil, very evil Bush clan wormed its way into the White House. Yes. So the Bushes, my opinion, you can look it up. It's pretty hinky. My opinion, the Republicans, they did it in the Bush days. So don't just think that, the communists are the only ones that know how to rig an election. That being said, this is my stance. This is why I say, if you don't want Donald Trump to cheat, demand voter ID, demand in-person voting, and demand one-day voting. That way, Donald Trump won't cheat. So if you're a real American and you really don't want a rigged election, then make sure Donald Trump can't cheat by demanding voter ID, same-day election, in-paper ballots. He's not going to be able to cheat. Now, don't be surprised if it's a landslide and Donald Trump wins every single state, but he won't cheat. Now, also the Gateway Pundit, Missouri Secretary of State candidate burns pornographic children's books and posts on social media in epic video. Ladies and gentlemen, single men out there, this woman would be a hell of a catch. I saw just a little bit of this video. She's got a flamethrower and she's taking it to children's books that are pornographic. Yes, the usual suspects are promoting pornographic books in our kids' libraries. If you don't believe it, just look it up. You don't have to take my word for it. Evidence of this is everywhere. So, this lady, she's got them, but she doesn't have them because she's a woman, right? So, it says GOP Missouri Secretary of State candidate Valentina Gomez came under fire recently. I see what they did there, and reportedly sparked. These guys are comedians. Outrage over her awesome social media content after she recently posted a video telling Americans, "Don't be weak and gay." Her words, not mine. Gomez, a daughter of legal immigrants, I love her already, describes herself on her campaign webpage as a real estate investor. Mikey, good to see you up there, Mikey. So, Mikey, I don't know if you saw this, the Missouri Secretary of State candidate, where she's burning pornography with a flamethrower. Her last name's Gomez, and she's running in the street. I mean, guys, this guy, I don't know if she's single or not, but man, she's in shape, running, wow, yeah. So she's running, and that's when she made that, don't be weak and statement, right? So Gomez, a daughter of legal immigrants, she's got this on her campaign webpage. She's a former NCAA Division I swimmer, relentless achiever, and a fierce advocate for the values we hold dear as Americans battling for a better future. In February, Gomez posted a viral video on X vowing to burn all books that are grooming, indoctrinating, and sexualizing our children. Amen, Ms. Gomez. Amen. Keep it up. Keep it up. See, those are the kind of women that a young man would just, really, really, she probably doesn't have, I'm not going to go into it. I don't want to offend anybody, but let's just say that she has no male accoutrements. We'll leave it at that, So, who's it? Maria? Good to see you. Good to see you, Maria. Glad to see you're up. So, I was just saying, Maria. I'm sorry for all of you that are still watching. This is just awesome. If you guys get a chance to see this, it's the Gateway Pundit. Ms. Valentina Gomez. She's a candidate in Missouri. If you have any way of backing her, please do so. She's burning children's books with pornography. Not in any, flicking matches at it. She's got a flamethrower, guys. Got a flamethrower. Impressive. Now, this one says, thanks, Joe Biden. Al-Qaeda terrorist network now moving back into Afghanistan. Well, why not? It's vacant. There's a vacancy. Move them back in. No worries. No worries at all. So the article says, here we go again. Just a few years after Biden's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, the Al-Qaeda network, terrorist network, is moving back into the country. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you may or may not remember, but the fact of the matter is Al-Qaeda is financed by the usual suspects. How do I know this? Because it's already publicized that our three-letter agencies fostered, with the bottle in the mouth and all that, they did this to the Mujahideen back in the 70s and 80s, right? Then the Mujahideen became, I believe it was, the Taliban. Then it became Al-Qaeda. Then it became ISIS, okay? Do not be surprised. In fact, this is my conclusion. Hamas is the same way, just from a little bit further east, financed a little country a little further east, if you get my meaning. Yeah. Okay. So, plus now they have the advantage of all the American weapons and military equipment that Biden left behind in 2021. What could possibly go wrong? Gee, I don't know what could possibly go wrong. You know what? I'm going to tell you what could go right. And here's what we're going to do. We're at about the halfway mark, and I'm going to tell you what can go right. And it's this. Mark, please spark up that promo on the screen. We have, now I don't know if it's going to be on the screen or you can do the cutaway. You can do the cutaway? Okay, so you won't be abused by my mug, right? You will see a promo. So we're going to see which one we're coming up. Okay, so what you're going to be looking at is a promo for all of you that are here local. This is going to be a film camp, okay? This film camp is put on by none other than our favorite Valley director, producer, Joe Martinez. Yes, the owner of 97.7 KCYP the City, FM, out of the McAllen Creative Incubator. Yes. Now, if you look to the top, it says Valleywood presents. Yeah, they're trying to decentralize Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. Why not do it right here in the Valley? And this is the perfect place. So, Joe is going to have guests. Now, Maneli Cepeda, she was the one who was in How to Be a Latin Lover, right? With Derbez. ¿Cómo se llama? What's his first name? Eugenio Derbez, yeah. So that was a good one. If you guys have seen... and she's bigger now, obviously. But How to Be a Latin Lover was pretty funny, where Derbez and Rob Lowe were, they were chasing after sugar mamas, right? And then our own, and she was just out here, Gaby San Miguel is also going to teach. She's going to instruct. So you got Maneli Cepeda. She's going to do the acting and things like that. She's going to teach the kids. This is mostly a film camp for kids, ladies and gents, from 8 years old to 18. It's going to go on in June, 6 to 10. If you don't see it here, you're seeing there's a lot of stuff here. If you don't see all the details here, It's on my Facebook feed, okay? So if you go down 5 or 6 posts that I've been doing through the week, it'll be there. It'll say Film Camp, okay? So Joe's going to put this on. He's going to show the kids how to well, not just Joe. Remember, he's got other experts out there, and they're going to be showing them how to create, how to write, how to produce, how to edit, how to film, how to act, all of the different components that go into a film. So it's, ladies and gents, to me, it's a whole week, right? And it's $125. Guys, this is amazing. And they're going to have probably some sort of presentation at the end of it, a graduation ceremony. I don't know for sure. But knowing Joe, he's going to do it right, okay? Joe's going to get this thing done, and he's got 2 experts that are helping him out. And I haven't met Ms. Zapeta, but I have met Gabby. Great person, knowledgeable, funny, okay? She can put it all together too, so Joe can work. They'll probably have different subsets that he teaches these kids this, and then we'll rotate them through the camps, the certain camps, right? So you got the acting, then you got the editing, and so they're going to be taken through the whole gamut of movie producing right here in the Valley, right here in the McAllen Creative Incubator. So the contact info is all there, and if you want to, you can contact me, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. This is going to be an excellent thing for the kids. Maybe he'll even do one for adults. I mean, he'll probably want to see, what kind of feedback you would get. But primarily speaking, Joe's ministry, the KCYP 97.7 FM, the whole ministry is based on, teaching kids about radio, and in this case, about movies, how to make a movie. So, man, that is excellent. If I had ever made a movie, I would love to teach in there, but nobody would really want to see a movie with me in it. So I'm not going to be there. But Joe and his experienced expert movie making friends are going to be there. Check it out if you're interested. Again, Joe's information will be there. But again, if you don't see it or whatever, hit me up on bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, and I'll give you all the details. All right. Thank you very much for being patient with that one. So what I would like to talk about, I'm going to kind of wing it. I'm going to eschew the notes, if you will. So what I want to talk about today is going back to that shareable economy. So I'm going to go into, and it's going to just touch the basics of it because I'm not a real expert in this, but I'm going to go back to that concept called the shareable economy. Okay. Why do I want to do that? I want to do that because when this thing really takes off, and yeah, nothing is set in stone, right? Nothing is set in stone. But when this thing really does take off, ladies and gents, you and me, we can have a part of the new economy. And let me give you a real world example of how this could work. So let's say Renee is back here too. So we got Mark and Renee behind the camera, right? So Renee, in case you haven't seen the episodes where I've promoted a couple of his comic books, because he's a comic book writer. He was at Comic-Con here in the Valley a couple weeks back. So let's just say that he has his website. He's got his content in the form of a comic book that he's publishing. So I have my website, bitcoinotter.com, and I want to help him out at the same time I want to help me out. So we can come together on an agreed basis, a contract, if you will, if need be, or just a handshake. So I will put a link on my website to his website, and anyone visiting my website who clicks on the link will go to Renee's website, and if they buy a comic book or some, memorabilia, whatever merchandise is there, the smart contract that is between him and I, this is going to be a digital thing, it's going to be on the blockchain, will automatically take a portion of the sales price that was earned by Renee and shunted into my wallet. Okay. So I'm promoting Renee. Renee might be doing the same thing with the Bitcoin Otter stuff once I get my swag. I'm working on that too, right? So we can share an economy amongst us. There's one way of doing it, right? Another way of doing it is finding a project that you believe in, and everybody knows, of course, if you watch a few shows, my favorite is Theta. Okay, so the Theta blockchain is my favorite cryptocurrency project. So if you have a stake in Theta or a node, you're running an edge node for their new AI platform, and I'll get into AI in a second too, because you're gonna like this one. So if you are into the AI aspect of it, you can run a node on your computer, okay? And you can use a portion of your computing power on your computer to basically produce the AI images, movies, all the stuff that the Theta network is using on their AI platform. You can contribute to that and in turn get paid in crypto. Yes. Okay. So what's happening is these people, yeah, I'm sure they have their venture capitalists. I mean, they partnered with the partners are huge. They're partnered with YouTube. They're partnered with Google. Theta is, right? They're partnered with all the Lionsgate films. They're partnered with the Actors Union in Hollywood, right? So they are going to be, my opinion, I'm not a financial advisor, okay? My opinion is they're going to be a really great entertainment juggernaut. I really do believe that. But the great thing about this is you and I can not only invest in it, but we can partake in it. So we can have our own channels on their network. We can have, like I explained, the node on our computer where it's going to give a little bit of our upload bandwidth to crunching numbers in the whole, the algorithms of the AI, right? So all these things can be done and we get paid. We're sleeping in one room. Our laptop or desktop computers are making us money in the other room, okay? And we're not doing it like on OnlyFans. We're not doing it that way, okay? We're doing this clean, right? I mean, who would want to see me? Anyway, so the fact of the matter is we can live a clean life and make money while we sleep. Yes. So that's just one example. I can come up with others, but I don't want to beleaguer the point. So let me go again back to the AI aspect. What am I talking about with the AI aspect? The AI aspect right now is hitting. It's thumping. I mean, Wall Street is like, for an example that everybody's probably going to know about, NVIDIA. So NVIDIA makes the processors, the gaming processors, GPUs, right? Makes the gaming processors that run AI, okay? That also mine Bitcoin and other cryptos, right? So NVIDIA is up like, 200%, something like that. It's just a crazy amount for a stock, okay? But not for a crypto. Crazy amount for a stock, but not for a crypto. So as blockchain applications, and obviously blockchain is considered Web 3. We are still on Web 2. We are, if you want to use the phrase, stuck in Web 2 still, okay? Why would I say that? Well, because the fact of the matter is these kind of things don't move quickly, especially when there are vested interests not wanting it to move quickly. Okay, so let me get back to this AI thing. There are many projects on the blockchain Web3 platform that you can invest in now that are cents or less than a cent. Are they worth it? Are they going to go? I don't know. Okay, I'm not an advisor. I don't want to advise you to do anything with your money that you don't want to do. What I'm doing is alerting you to this. Okay, I'm alerting you to opportunities that are right now. NVIDIA, that ship sailed, right? I mean, you can buy it up at where it's at right now, whatever the share price is. I don't know what it is, but you can buy it if you want, right? But what I'm talking about is projects that are just getting off the ground that you could, throw a few $100s at and get thousands of those tokens, thousands of them for a few $100. Okay. There are others that are more established with a bigger footprint. Okay. In the genre, if you will, in the market, that will cost a little bit more or a lot more, depending, right? So what I'm trying to get at is there are opportunities for everyone if you want to do this. So, of course, my favorite is Theta. I've said that, and I'll say it again. My favorite is Theta. Their economic currency is called T-Fuel. T-Fuel right now is 10 cents with some, numbers behind it, but 10 cents for one T-Fuel. If you want to run that node I was talking about earlier, you need 10,000 T-Fuel. You do the math, you'll get it. So everything is paid to you in T-Fuel, which again, right now is 10 cents. You've probably never heard of Theta outside of this show. Most of you probably have not. However, if it's worth 10 cents now and nobody's heard of it, if it does succeed, what do you think it's going to be worth in the future? Now, on your node, and I have a node, and if you're interested, I can show you how it works, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, okay? I'm getting anywhere between 1 and 2 T-Fuel, throughout the day. Not just 1 or 2 a day, but 1 or 2 throughout the day. So they're only 10 cents now, but imagine if that starts rolling in as the value of T-Fuel goes up. Some people believe that T-Fuel is going to be easily $1. Some people believe $3, $5. I don't know. I just believe in the project. Okay? And I'm here to help you find opportunities if you're interested. And only if you're interested. I can help you with this, but I am not going to advise you how to spend, how to invest, none of that. That's not me. I'm here to let you know what's going on. So, with that said, if anybody else has anything you want me to share, you want me to put it up, I will do that. Okay? That, ladies and gentlemen, unless anybody's got something that they want to, throw into the mix, that is pretty much the show today. I can't think of anything else outside of what I've mentioned that I want to bring up to you. You know what? It just came to me. I won't beleaguer this point either, but I just want to mention this. I want to mention the fact that Donald Trump's campaign is going swimmingly. What do you mean by that, Otter? Eileen, good to see you. Donald Trump's campaign consists of indictments against him. Wait a minute, Otter, those are indictments. He could go to jail. Yeah, and that'll be part of it. Going to jail will be part of his campaign. So all of you sufferers of Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, if you really do want Donald Trump to go to jail, be advised. Be careful what you wish for. Because if you're a Trump fan, that would be glorious. Absolutely glorious. The boss in jail. Wow. I mean, granted, there are only 99 indictments, okay? So we don't know if that's going to be enough to put him in jail. But if it is enough, then we've got ourselves a campaign. I'll tell you what. You do that to him, yeah. You do that to him, his campaign contributions are going to go through the roof, okay? The resident, Captain Potato Brain, will not be there. This is me. Again, this is me. Little old me, right? The Bitcoin Otter here. I'm telling you, in my opinion, there will be a change of batter. Because they know that this guy, he can't hold his own water, much less the water for, the communists around the world. So there's no way they're going to allow him to go forward past a certain point. What's that up? Well, I don't know what that point is. I don't know. Who are they going to put in? I have my guesses, but I don't know for sure. I really can't say. It might start with Michelle and end with Obama. I don't know. We'll see. No names. My opinion, no mas. But here's the thing. When this whole thing goes, when all of this, Omar, good to see you, Omar. Omar, we're talking about Donald Trump's campaign that he will probably be bringing to a courtroom near you. So as Donald Trump sits in these courtroom environments, his base is, not only his base is being fired up, but anyone who's ever been in a situation where they were wrongly accused, they are probably now, even if they weren't before, but probably now a Trump voter. See, these very challenged individuals who really want to see Trump get got, and every time he goes into a courtroom, they think, this is it. They got him. And then you get a Fanny situation, the Fanny thing, right? So Fanny and her boyfriend went out, and well, we know what happened with Fanny, right? There was a whole Fanny-gate thing. So then where do we go? We go to this Engeron guy, right? Then we go to this Merchan guy. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these, and this is me, scoundrels will be outed. All of this skullduggery will be exposed, okay? It's happening everywhere the tour, the campaign goes. When are you going to realize this? Okay, if you are a TV watching, mainstream news imbiber, when are you going to realize? Okay, and this is yes, it's facetious, I know, but ask yourself, when will you realize that this only serves to put the man you hate into office? When's that going to dawn on you? Okay, it's at some point or another going to have to be digested in the bowels of your mind while TDS is raging through your thought process. That how the hatred and the bile, okay, that is excreted, mental bile against Donald Trump. If you can cut through all that and see the end game, you're going to realize that this is only helping him. You're going to realize and you're going to see that these idiots that are all in against Donald Trump in courtrooms across America are fumbling left and right. They're bumbling right and left. They're failing. Why? Because they got nothing. They have nothing because he didn't do the crimes they accuse him of doing. Omar says, make America great again. They can't beat him. Doesn't matter what they do. He doesn't get intimidated. And that's why we love him. We don't worship him. People think, oh, it's a cult. Donald Trump is a cult and he's wanting to create cult members. No. I don't worship him. I admire him. Okay? He's a leader. Are all of the things he says perfectly pronounced? Are they perfectly thought out before? I think he does. Are they what? I would say no. But I'll tell you what. He's a heck of a lot better than the turnip alternative or whatever alternative they're going to dish up come, I think, is it August? They're, the communist convention is going to be, I think, in Chicago now. And they changed the schedule of it all. So they're doing that for a reason. What that reason is, we'll find out sooner or later. But to put up a winning candidate, no, that's not the reason. They've got a reason, and we'll find out. Now, that being said, ladies and gents, the corruption in the courtrooms is coming out. If you watch TV news, you don't know it, okay? As your brain cells are destroyed by shows like The View, or if you watch Fox even, your brain cell count is less when the half-hour or hour-long show signs off, you are now less intelligent. Okay? I'm not pretending to be a genius, but I'll tell you what, I stay away from crack, I stay away from injectable drugs, and I stay away from TV. I think I'm being astute. I think I'm being, cautious with my brain cells that way. Because when I was, a younger guy, I drank a lot of beer, and, it probably wasn't good for the brain cells. You might notice even till today. But the fact of the matter is, I am not so addled as to watch network news. Okay, you're mainlining brain poison if you do this. Now, what's the alternative? You dig it up yourself. The internet's full of crap, Otter. I know it is. But if you use your logic, if you use your skills, okay, your ability to parse out information, because that's all it is information, into a cohesive format that you can maybe connect from one thing to another, maybe see a pattern, okay, maybe see repetition in there, you can begin to paint a picture for yourself that some probably, and this is me, probably, I won't go that far, but let's just say that the people who really want those pornographic books in our kids' schools, they're compromised. And I would say that most of the people who are screaming on TV are compromised, probably in a similar way. Now, when the whole thing goes down, and I don't know when it's going to go down, right? I mean, we know we got an election coming up. Why do you think they're stoking up pandemics? Why do you think there's knuckleheads, who barely know how to pronounce Palestine are in universities, right? They're storming the universities. And here in Texas, thank God, we are in Texas, right? They're shutting that down. They're shutting that down, right? So Florida is doing some good stuff too. I think it was DeSantis that I think they outlawed fake meat. I think they just outlawed fake meat in Florida. DeSantis wrote the bill. I think it was passed. I'm not sure. But I mean, who wouldn't? What real person wouldn't, put a bill in to say, hey guys, let's not have fake meat, okay? Unless of course you're Uncle Klaus Schwab, then the net zero effect will come in, meaning you have zero, and you won't be happy. That's his idea with the Green New Scam. So all that to say, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to have an exciting remainder to 2024. Strap in. Get yourself prepared, because when you're prepared, you're not scared, right? When you are prepared, you're not scared. Prepare your family the way you want to do it. Nobody can tell you how to do it. Your life is your life. You do you. What I'm here for is to help you if you want to know about things that I know a little bit more about than you. In case of point, maybe crypto, maybe preparation, maybe information out there about the banks and how they're teetering, right? I'm looking this stuff up. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to think that I'm right. Don't have to believe all the stories that I tell you. But I have done my job if I have at least put you on the alert. Eyes open, head up, ready to prepare you and your family for something that might or might not happen. That's what I'm here for. Nothing more, nothing less. So, with that, I want to say goodbye and God bless you for another week. Okay? Again, we're on 97.7 FM KCYP the City out of McAllen, Texas. Check out my Facebook feed, both the Christopher Ott and Bitcoin Otter, and Joe Martinez's also, 97.7. The YouTube channels, also on Radio Garden, okay? These are where you can find our stuff. Also, the camp, the film camp. The film camp is going to be good. She was just here. I'm going to just check real quick if she's still there. No, she's not. Gabby was here in the incubator. She's still around here somewhere. But I would like to interview her, maybe Joe, anybody from the camp maybe next week, to promote the thing. And if you have any questions, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, and we can get a list of questions that we can ask them. Ivan, good to see you. If you want your kids to be in this film camp, I'm going to ask my kids. They're old enough to choose or say yes or no, Dad. But maybe we'll do it. I think it'd be a great idea. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being you. Thank you for doing all in your power to prepare you and your family for maybe some troubling times that come. Maybe not, but better to be prepared and certainly not scared. God bless you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week.
This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The